Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Quivs here, Quivs does stuff. Today we are back in Minecraft to do our third tutorial. In this case, we are going to build a underground tree farm. With the completion of this, we will no longer actually need to return above ground for anything, like we can literally just hang around underground forever. Now, there's nothing that says you can't go above ground again. You can do that as much as you like, but I tend to make sure that I've got everything ready underground so that I don't have to go above ground. Like, for example, if it's nighttime and I don't want to sleep, or, you know, it's multiplayer and other people don't want to sleep. They maybe want to fight monsters, or maybe they don't want to sleep because we want to fight phantoms. So yes, there might be whatever reason for us to stay underground and not sleep through the night. And you don't want to run out of tools, so you need wood. So building a tree farm. So this is exactly where we left off at the end of our tutorial number 2, or episode number 2, where we finished our wheat farm. We have gathered a few more seeds, so I'm going to dump some of this extra stuff that I don't need here. We've gathered a few more seeds, and we haven't planted those yet, so we'll go and plant those. We are nearly starving. We're at 1 hunger. For some reason I've still got one bit of one plot of tilled soil where the water is not spread. That one isn't ready yet. It's getting close though. So yes, during the course of this we will also finally get to eat. Now I do have this raw mutton here, and I do now have enough coal, but I'm gonna leave it because I don't have to use it, and I shouldn't. Under normal circumstances I wouldn't have raw mutton, but I didn't find iron quick enough. You'll also be able to check back on that second video that I had to make this staircase descending towards the bottom of the map, which is something that I normally make much later and wasn't really going to have in these videos, but I had to do that to go looking for iron because I didn't have a bucket. And normally I would have a bucket, and at this point in the game I would have had shears already, but I didn't have shears either, so I couldn't shear sheep. I had to kill them. So we've got some mutton that I wouldn't normally have at this stage of the game. So I'm going to pretend we don't have the mutton. Right, now we're going to make the tree farm. So exactly like that one where I didn't make a full 9x9 room, but I was prepped to make a 9x9 room. In other words, like I've set it up as if I was going to make a 9x9 room. I'm going to do the same thing here, and the tree farm is going to be from off this room. Now, again, tree farms, it really depends what kind of saplings you're going to use. In my case, it's going to be oak saplings because those are the easiest trees to work with. Birch is also pretty good. I recommend birch because birch can only grow straight. There are others. It really depends what you want to use. According to what you want to use, you might have to adjust the height of the ceiling for your tree farm. But in my case, I'm going to make it a very specific height that I use for oak trees. Right. Now, so this is the sort of beginnings of the 9x9 room. This will be the doorway into the tree farm. Let's make the tree farm. Now, 9x9 rooms, you've seen me make those in the previous tutorials, and 8x8 rooms, you've seen me make that in the previous tutorial where I made the farm. This is a 10x10 room. So what you want to do is go 1, 2, 3 forward. There's all that coal that I was looking for ages. And then you've got to go 1, 2, 3. Now if it was an 8x8 room, that's where you'd stop. 4, if it was a 9x9 room, that's where you'd place your next torch. But we're going to go 5 because this is a 10x10 room. And then go 1, 2 more, and then we turn the corner. Right, I'm going to need more pickaxes. Oh, I've got another one. Alright, we'll do that later then. So now, once again, turn the corner. Go 1, 2, place a torch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've also adjusted the sound mix on this one, so now the game sounds are louder than they were before. I used to actually have that softer so that it was easier for me to speak over the game sounds, but if I'm talking about things that are happening in the game and the thing that is happening is a sound, I think it behooves me to actually increase the game sounds in this one. Before I was talking about, for example, now I know it's daylight because you can hear the zombies being burned, and you really kind of almost couldn't on the video because the game sounds were turned down. They're like down normally like at 80% while I'm at 100%, like my voice is at 100%. But yeah, so I've turned it up so we're both at 100%, so it's just plausible that there will be times where you won't be able to hear me for the game sounds. I don't know if that's going to actually be the case or not. I can't see. Alright, that is that, so I'm going to replace that with cobblestone. Now again, see my previous video where I am making the wheat farm as to an explanation on why I replace all the gravel in the walls. I will do that after I've actually dug the 10 by 10 path. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the basics is that if a creeper gets in here, he can blow up things like gravel with ease. It doesn't have a lot of blast resistance. Although I think gravel's blast resistance isn't that bad. I think it's better than, well, dirt. We are almost at the end of our hunger. Is that fully grown? No. So I really need to... I'm going to keep ducking back in and checking that. Right, so we now have a 10 by 10 sort of pathway. We need to now dig out the entire middle section, which will take some time. But let's discuss some things. Right, so the basic tree room, you can grow 4 trees at a time. Well, in the one that I make, you can grow 4 trees at a time. You could absolutely just make one that grows 1 tree at a time, and the space that you need would be a lot less. But I don't do that. I grow 4 trees at a time because you never know how much wood you're going to need. I try to keep the height that you only grow oak trees that are 4 wood high. The actual height with the leaves, I think, is 10 total, or 9 total, and 10 is the roof height, and it won't touch the roof. That's because if you grow any higher than that, you can make it like massively high. You can make the roof huge if you want. But if you do that with oak trees, you're liable to get those oak trees that start branching off in all sorts of directions, and then it takes you ages, and you've got to climb up, and you've got to, you know, do nerd poling. Nerd poling, if you're not aware, is when you look down, jump, and place a block under you. You can do that all the way up to the sky if you so wish. We call it nerd poling. You can use it to stay safe at night. You can nerd pole well up into the sky and be safe at night. So long as there aren't phantoms around to knock you off your nerd pole, you can stay up there forever. Well, through the whole night if you want. And the only thing that can get you up there is spiders, and if you make your nerd pole tall enough, the spiders won't see you and henceforth won't climb your nerd pole. Skeletons can't shoot you up there. Creepers... I've noticed that creepers sometimes seem to hang around as if they know you're up there, but I don't think they do. I think that's maybe just me being paranoid. Can hear spiders. It must be night. There's another grown wheat. Excellent. Didn't give me any seeds. That's abnormal. Don't they normally give you seeds and wheat? I didn't know it was possible to get wheat and no seeds. How very interesting. Alright, doesn't matter, we'll fix that later. Alright, let's continue. Where were we? Here. I mean, you can dig this out in any sort of pattern you want. I just like the to do it this way because it's just me. And yes, so that's me getting hurt by hunger. Now this is on easy, so I will not starve to death. If this was on hard, I would starve to death, but because I've got my respawn set thanks to having a bed, it'd be okay. I'd respawn, I'd just run back down into my house and get all my stuff. Well, I wouldn't even have to, I'd spawn next to my bed. I'd run over here and pick up all my stuff. And I would then also have full health and full hunger, which is, advantageous as well. But yeah, at the moment we're starving. So, it's finally happened. It was going to happen eventually if I didn't. It sort of always happens if you don't spend time like getting food. Like I could totally have run over to that village and I bet you there'd be some bread in a chest there or something I could eat. I could totally have just killed 1 or 2 random cows and eaten some of that food. I could have absolutely have killed some sheep for my bed and cooked the mutton that I got as a result. But I sort of wanted to demonstrate worst case scenario, so I'm ignoring the mutton I have in my chest, and I didn't kill any cows and I didn't find anything else to eat. I'm just going with this is how I do it in the worst case scenario, which is you have to starve somewhat while you wait for your first wheat to grow. Probably wouldn't have starved. I've most of the time I do actually get the farm up and running and get my first bread before I even reach starvation point, but we had to waste a lot of time looking for iron because we couldn't find any iron. And once again, like, I'm really surprised that I've dug out a 10 by 10 room and not hit anything except a little bit of coal and a little bit of copper. Normally, I don't know which versions of Minecraft, but normally I would have expected to have found more copper than this by now. Just doesn't seem to happen anymore. It's very annoying. Right. Cobblestone rather than gravel for walls. Okay. Now in this case we need to dig down, and there is a reason why the first set of stairs goes here in the doorway rather than here. Alright, there's probably an Enderman in my house, so walk around looking down. Yeah, he just teleported behind me. Down here maybe? I don't know where he's gone. He's teleporting around. For all I know he's in here somewhere. No, okay. Oh, so I think if you do it before it goes golden, you get the wheat. But you don't get any more seeds. So I think I need to wait longer. But that is enough to make my first slice of bread, or my first loaf of bread. And now while I'm not regenning health yet, I'm not starving either. So that's a good start. It's still a good start. So in continuation of our previous tutorial where I showed you all about making the farm, now we are using the farm. Right, so now we want to dig out this level of floor. And we're going to be doing this a few times because we need to go down several levels to make it the room tall enough to grow a tree. But that is essentially the principle. Is basically if you make a room... I don't know what that was. Might be a cave nearby. If you make a room tall enough to grow a tree, put some dirt in it, and put saplings on the dirt, the tree will grow. I don't believe there's any particular light level that trees need. I should look that up really, but I think they're actually fine. I add a lot of torches for my own benefit and to prevent monsters from spawning in the room, but I think actually the trees will grow in pitch blackness. They do not need exposure to sky like grass does. For grass to grow, it has to be exposed to the sky, or it can spread from Cool. Okay, at least it walked away. It can spread from grass block to grass block so long as the light level is sufficient, but for it to just spontaneously spawn on dirt, it has to be exposed to the sky. Light alone will not suffice, so torch will not do it. Yeah, now I did say that again in the very, very first video where I explained about how and why I build a house underground. You can make your house too high and then you won't have to deal with Endermen as often because they won't keep spawning inside your house and teleporting around inside it, especially if it's raining. But I don't, and I just eventually just fight the Enderman because, well, you get some Ender Pearls that way. It's not a great way of farming Ender Pearls, but it works. You know, you get the occasional one. But I won't be doing that this early because I have no way of replenishing my health just yet. And, I mean, I'll probably win, but an Enderman could kill me. Okay, now I think that one's ready. Yes. As is that one. And this one? Yes. Okay. Mental note. Probably need to wait for the wheat to be golden before harvesting, or you will not get a replacement seed. I think that's what happened. I wasn't actually aware of that. That's news to me. I don't know whether that's a recent change or a very old change that I just haven't noticed before, but yeah, I wasn't actually aware of that. Alright, so we've got to keep going down. Now, I like to place more torches at this level. Well, I say at this level, at underneath the original ones. So there, and there, 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 there. You don't need to. I'm also going to put the ceiling in. 1, 2, 3. Again, you don't need to do this either, but I'm going to put one in the ceiling anyway. It is possible that if all 4 trees grow and they all grow to the exact same height, you can have a space on top that can actually accommodate a monster. It's rare, but it has happened to me before. I've had a space on top of the trees and a zombie has spawned up there because it was dark enough, because I didn't do the roof. This time we're going to do the roof, so that won't happen. Right. Take that, turn that into torches. Doesn't matter, torches. Turn that into bread. Eat the bread. See, we're slowly getting closer to actually recovering health by actually having high enough food. Right, did I run out of torches? No. Oh, yes, I did. I was doing the roof thing. 1. There we go. So yeah, so something in the roof somewhere around the middle will suffice. If a 9x9 room with the torches where I place them, in fact a 9x9 room with the torches anywhere, the light level in the very center of that room is not high enough to prevent the spawning of monsters. A 10x10 room, the very center, is absolutely going to be dark enough for monsters to spawn. But we will solve that in a different way, and I'll show you in a few minutes on how we do that. Because we're getting close to how deep the room actually has to be. Alright. Oh, well, I accidentally dug that one out, but that's alright. I'll probably be coming back to dig that one out later anyway. Get rid of the wall. Wall's worth of cobblestone that I don't want. Hi. Yeah, Enderman, pretty easy. Don't accidentally hit him with your pickaxe while digging, and don't look him in the face. Got my second pickaxe, that was. Alright, where is the... Here it is. Stairs there. Hi again. You're just hanging around, aren't you? Must like it down here. I mean, I think it's cozy, but I'm surprised he does. A couple of pickaxes. Slight lag there. Right. So now we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 high. Want to go down again. So, the main reason why we start the stairs in the doorway rather than here, one block into the room, is that if I didn't, I don't know what block he just took, but he walked off with a block, didn't he? I hope it wasn't anything important. Is that if you don't, you end up with stairs where the torch should go, and that just annoys me. It's not actually important. You can put torches wherever you like. But for my symmetry and the way that I always design things, it was annoying that the torch would be missing in one spot because there were stairs there. So yes, I adjusted the stairs back one so that the torches line up perfectly. I break the block under the stairs, you don't have to. Right, now this room is actually already high enough. You can get a 4 high tree in this room, but we're going to go down one more and go for a 5 high tree. Because it just means you get one more wood off every sapling that grows. Again, it's not necessary. It's optional, but I'm going to take the option in this instance just because. Alright, no more gravel in the walls. Nice. Hope I'm not wrong. Is that right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I think that's right. So basically, the tree needs 2 blocks on top of it. On top of the maximum height of the trunk to grow leaves. It can butt right up against the ceiling. It can grow a 4 high tree and leave space below the ceiling, which is the instance where with the 4 trees butting up against each other, there's a little gap around here where it's a 2 high block, and if I don't have torches up there, it's then dark enough for mobs to actually spawn if all 4 trees grow to a 4 height. It's a weird thing. It rarely happens, but it can happen. So I try to not let it happen by providing some form of chandelier or ceiling lighting anyway. Right, we are almost done. Yeah, there's definitely a dark space near here somewhere. Otherwise I wouldn't be hearing that noise. So there must be a cave system, I would imagine, close by. Which will be interesting, because if I accidentally run into that anytime soon, that cave system will be absolutely destroying the efficiency of the passive spawner that I'm going to be making, which will probably be the next episode after this one. I'm just trying to think, is there anything else I have to do between tree farm and passive spawner? Probably basic cow farm. I'll do basic cow farm and basic cow farming techniques. How I build a cow farm and how I maintain a cow farm. Basic cow farm and cow farming techniques. Basic cow farm is almost identical to the wheat farm. It's the exact same size room, except the door has a gate in it, and I don't till the soil. I still make it out of dirt. Later on, when I have silk touch, I will use a dirt block and actually a grass block and actually spread grass so the cows are standing on grass, purely for aesthetics reasons. The cows can absolutely survive standing on anything, including concrete, including cobblestone, regular stone, you know, whatever you want. I'm going to dig this copper out. I don't have a use for copper. As far as I know, so far copper is purely ornamental. Like, it doesn't have any particular function yet in the game. It just looks pretty. It has a cool orangey color when you first place it, and then later on it goes a cool green color, like it corrodes like real copper does. And real copper, when it corrodes, can actually be quite attractive if you're into that particular aesthetic. I have seen the coolest one I ever saw was a door made entirely out of copper, and the door got older, it slowly corroded into this cool mixture of oranges and greens, and it looked really nice. That was a miss there and there. Right, so as you can see, the stairs just missed the torch, otherwise they wouldn't have just missed the torch. Right, now I'm going to need 4 dirt and 4 saplings, and then we are done. 1, 2, 3, 4. Dump that in there with that, and get rid of all these extra blocks that I'm not using, and grab 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so from the corner of the room, go diagonally in 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th block, dig it out. Then you can go across 2 blocks, dig it out, turn, go across 2 blocks, dig it out, turn, go across 2 blocks, dig it out, and you'll notice that that is right in the center of the room, and there are 4 blocks with a 4 block space, well, 2 block spaces in between them. That is the, I believe, the minimum spacing for this to work. It might work with 1 block spacing, I'm not sure. Plant your saplings, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then place torches here, 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 and here. So on the corners. Now there are many other places you can place torches to make it look right, but that is the minimal that you will need to make sure that monsters can't spawn in this block. And given time, this room will now grow trees, oak trees. Oak trees that are 5 bits of wood tall with 2 bits of thing above it. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 high, 10 by 10 width and length. Come in from the wall 1, 2, 3, the 4th block in any direction, and place dirt, and then place saplings on top of it, and that is it. That is all you need to do. Now I could grow some bone meal, use some bone meal to demonstrate that yes, trees can grow in here, but I think we'll just wait. Let's do a bit more farming. But suffice to say, that is the end of the how to build a basic tree farm, or how I build a tree farm video. Definitely got a lot of food now, which is great. So yes, as you can see from the previous video, the farming method absolutely works. Yes, so if you need to build a tree farm, you can absolutely just do it above ground. It's easy enough. But if, like me, you like to live underground like a mole and never come above ground unless you absolutely have to for something, I often have to deal with villages and so on and so forth, you need a tree farm, and this is how one makes a tree farm. It would be nice if I could get one to grow. Okay, I'm going to waste the bone meal. I've only got so many bones, but I'm going to waste the bone meal. I'm going to be able to make a composter soon, and I'm going to have plenty of stuff to compost, because eventually that wheat farm is going to start producing a massive excess of seeds. Like, it's worth keeping the wheat, but the amount of seeds that I'm going to get is going to be bigger than the room. Right, so 2, 3. There you go. There's a 4 tall tree. And then we can chop this down. And I've just got 4 wood without going above ground. Now, as I said in previous videos as well, there is no downside to breaking leaves prematurely. There is an upside to doing so with something with silk touch, but you know, that's a big waste of a tool, to be honest. You're using a lot of durability. Not silk touch, sorry. Fortune. Fortune was the one I was thinking of. You can get more saplings and more apples and more sticks if you do have fortune. But otherwise, there is no downside. The drops are the same as waiting for the tree to decay naturally. Only got 1 sapling there. Now you will find you end up with extra saplings over time. You end up with more saplings than you need. Once again, we'll be able to throw that into a composter when the time comes. Now I do have enough food. Let's make a whole bunch of bread. And for the first time, I'm going to be able to regenerate health. Might be night, let's sleep, why not? But yes, we are now at the stage where we literally do not have to go above ground unless we absolutely have to or want to. There's no reason to go up there anymore. That was not golden enough, and I only got the wheat and did not get any seed, so that was a mistake. Oh well. Right. But yeah, as you can see, tree farm. Now these will naturally generate. You don't just need to use bone meal. You can use bone meal if you're in a rush and you just need some quick wood. But I don't. I now have a lot. In fact, I'm also going to now make a couple more chests and convert these 2 primary chests, the first chest that I start with, into 2x2s because I was running out of space in there anyway. And you will find that in the construction of the kind of house that I do, I will end up with chests going there, and then I'll start putting chests here and in other places in this room, and they will all be just building materials. And I'll still probably have 1, maybe 2 chests that have other things in them. Other things in this case being anything that's not, you know, a building block, a placeable block. Right. So if you'd like to stop watching there, you can totally stop watching there. But this is also a Let's Play, and one of the other things I want to do is finish these 2 9x9 rooms to demonstrate that yes, these will also be exact duplicates of the first room, 9x9 room. So I'm going to dig these out. There's that iron I was looking for all that time. Yes, I did make a previously incorrect statement as well. I did correct it as a comment or some text in a video. I did think that in caves and cliffs that actually made it that iron can't spawn this high, but iron actually spawns to level 63, which is 1 level above sea level being 62. So actually I just got super unlucky. Iron should totally have spawned, like I should totally have hit iron at this level earlier, and I just got unlucky and just didn't. It was quite miraculous that I just didn't hit iron at all. We went for ages and just never found it. Right, so this was the 9x9 room. I didn't really do the count because I've done it in previous videos, but I will do the count again for the last corner. So you go 1, 2, 3, place a torch, and then go 1, that's 2, 3, 4, and place a torch. And then go 1, 2, and then turn the corner. Now, eventually we're going to be adding beehives to our farms as well, but when we get to that, we will be getting rid of this wall, because beyond here is the farm. But for now, we'll leave the wall in place. But later on, when we get bees, when we start making custom hives to improve the speed of farming, we will be getting rid of this wall entirely so the bees can sort of free roam a bit easier. I think that one's ready, and I think this one is too. Yes, excellent. See how we're slowly filling up this wheat farm? It's like almost finished now. We haven't actually harvested any more seeds. Right, this 9x9 room is now complete. I will dig out the ores, but I'll do that afterwards. So yeah, this is just housekeeping. It's not actually important to the tutorial part. So if you are still watching, you must just be interested in my Let's Play, I assume. But yeah, this will also just be a Let's Play series because I'm going to... Let's see how far we get. I have never legitimately finished Minecraft. I've seen the Ender Dragon. I've been to the end, and I didn't legitimately kill him without cheats. I have killed him with cheats before. I have legitimately found strongholds. I've legitimately been to the end. And that was so long ago. Like, there's all the new stuff in the end now. I've never... You know, there's all, what is it, shulkers and all sorts of other things. I haven't even seen those yet because it's literally been that long since I've been to the end. But back in the day, way back in the day, around, I think it was just before whichever update it was when they first introduced the witch. We legitimately, it was so far to go as well. We had so many ender pearls. We had to go like, I think it was 40,000 blocks or something. That was our nearest stronghold. We spent ages, me and a friend, we made a Nether portal highway. If you're not familiar with that, the distance traveled in the Nether world, in the Nether, is 4 times the distance you will actually travel in the overworld. So for every 1 block traveled in the Nether, you've technically traveled 4 blocks in the overworld. So what you could do is you could place a portal in the overworld, go down into the Nether. I say down, it's not really a direction, but go into the Nether, then travel in the Nether for a certain amount of distance, and then come out again, and you will have traveled 8 times as far in the overworld in that same direction. So we made a Netherworld, basically a minecart track in the Nether. So you'd go into the Nether, you'd go into this minecart track. It was an entirely enclosed tunnel, but it was annoying because zombie pigmen kept spawning in it. Zombie pigmen don't even exist anymore. They're now piglins. Don't dig directly above your head. Cardinal rule of Minecraft. We did all these things, and we managed to fill the portal with ender pearls, and we got to the dragon, and we were both wearing pumpkins because of all the endermen, and we fought the dragon, and we didn't quite get it. And if you don't quite get it, the dragon just regenerates health the next time you turn up. So we didn't successfully finish it. So I've come close. And since then, things have gotten much harder. I've never even faced the Wither legitimately. I think I've only ever faced the Wither in creative mode. Like, never even faced him in survival, cheating in the stuff that you need to get. Did I leave a gap behind that block? No, good. Cheating in the stuff you need to get to face the Wither. Yep, can definitely hear big black open space somewhere around here. I think so, because I have no idea what else that noise could be. I guess there must be a cave system somewhere close, would be my best guess. I'm not going to bother getting all this copper. I've got more than enough copper now that it's worth just... Oh, okay, it looks like the vein runs out pretty quickly. No, it doesn't. It continues on for ages. Oh, I've started now. We'll get the rest of it. I don't know what I'm going to do with all this copper. There's a lot of copper. But yeah, maybe as part of this Let's Play series, we might eventually have hardcore enough stuff and be able to find a stronghold, get all the way to it, take on the Ender Dragon, kill it, get the egg. It's very hard to get the egg. I'll have to remember to look up how to get the egg, because I know you can miss it. Like if you accidentally break it, that's it. You don't get another one. So we'll have to make sure that we don't mess that up and we actually get the egg. And keep the egg as a trophy to prove. And then we'll do other things like try to take on the Wither. And isn't there another new boss now? I don't remember. But yes. Okay, that is one of the 2 9x9 rooms. So that's what I mean by just multiple 9x9 rooms. So I did mention in a previous video that before I used to actually put ceiling, like a thing in the ceiling, this very middle square, you could get a zombie spawn there. And yeah, I'd built my house like this, and I was running this way, and then I came back for something, and in that room, there was just a zombie standing there in the middle of the room, and I was like, what? Why? went over and killed him, and then did some research and realized that the light level in the room was just low enough in the very, very center square to allow zombies to spawn. So we no longer do that. We make sure that they can't anymore by providing lighting in the roof. That I think that one and that one's good, but I think that one's not. Right, almost there. So yeah, one more thing to dig out. Yeah, I have way too much copper. I'm not going to bother digging any more copper unless I sort of, you know, have to now. Because what is the point, really? It's not doing anything for me. A couple more sticks would be nice. And a crap load of torches. Excellent. Right. Oops. Accidentally ran there. See? Naturally spawned tree. That's a 5 tall one. Now, the other thing you can do if you really want to is you can put dirt blocks in here anywhere and plant flowers on those dirt blocks. And then you have a chance of spawning an oak tree with a beehive, which happened outside. There's a beehive outside. I'm not going to do that. What do you mean too far away? Oh, it is night. I'm not going to do that right now. I don't need it, but it is something you can do if you so wish. Oops. Right. I am going to finish digging out this one as well. And then I'm going to end the video there, because that will be a good point to stop the video and proceed on to the next episode, which will be the passive spawner. Now, I suppose I'm going to describe all of that at the beginning of the next video, so there's no point telling you now. Might as well mention it now. If you have been following along, but you're not doing everything that I do, so for example, you're not living underground like a mole, but you do like some of the other things, like for example, hey, I liked how you made that wheat farm, and hey, I liked how you made that tree farm. I could totally make those above ground, right? You certainly can. This passive spawner, again, will be very much a mostly above ground structure, although the end of it, the business end of it, will be underground, because that's how I do it. It is a bit harder to make in Bedrock because I haven't turned show coordinates on, which means I'm going to have to count, which can always be a pain in the butt, but you know, that's just a thing that we have to do. If you haven't built your house underground like I have, like a mole, you may find you do not have enough resources to build it, because it takes a lot of something, some sort of building block to build this passive spawner. It's a lot. I've never counted it. It's a lot. It differs depending on the height that you have to use as well. How far below ground you are, if you know, for the business end that I was partially describing. It uses a lot of resources. So like I said in the very first video about, you know, the best way to build a house is underground, because you're going to dig out blocks to build a house anyway. Like, you need some sort of resource to build your house out of. The best thing you can actually do is just live in the hole that you dug the resources out of. It just makes sense. If you haven't dug the hole and lived in the hole like I am, you probably won't have enough resources already, and you will have to essentially mine a big hole to get enough resources to build this passive farmer. Right, so now I just need to dig all this out, replace any gravel with cobblestone, follow any ore seams if there are any. Doesn't look like I'm going to get anything new out of this one. And then we will end the video there, because that will suffice. We will be in a sort of nice position. Oh, do I do the passive spawner or do I do a cow farm? I might have to do the cow farm next instead. Yeah, I think we'll do the cow farm. Now the cow farm, my cow farm normally goes in a 9x9 room. next to this one, because the tree farm is there. But I will do all that in the next video, because I need to explain some distances and things, because all my farms sort of come off these central chambers. So there's like central rooms that you can walk through. Galleries, I like to think of them as. Don't often call them that, but I guess they're galleries. Just makes the house look nice. Later on, I will go into aesthetics of the house. I will replace everything with what's his face, stone brick, or whatever the hell it's called, rather than cobblestone and regular bare stone. I will carpet everything. There's another version that I sometimes do that's a bit of fun and is really great for collecting resources, which is I will dig underneath this block, and then I will dig out this entire 9x9 room all the way to bedrock, and then replace this entire floor with glass. And I will do that in every 9x9 room. And so you'll walk around and there's just like a massive underground space that's entirely open and goes all the way down to bedrock. And is all lit at the bottom as well, so that monsters can't spawn. But that is a very super, like, nearly end game kind of thing that I will do just for the hell of it, maybe just to gather resources. It is an extremely inefficient way of finding diamond. It's a really, really crap way of finding diamond, but you will probably find some diamonds, because if you do that to, say, 2 rooms, you've basically mined out almost an entire chunk. In fact, it's a chunk and a bit. Well, it's not, but it's nearly a whole chunk. So if you mine out a whole chunk, you absolutely have to find some diamonds in that chunk. It's almost impossible not to. I think it is possible, but it's almost impossible not to. Anyway, that will be something that we either do or don't do in a very, very future episode. But yeah, it's something you can do. It's something I've done. And it looks kind of nice. Aesthetically, it's a cool look. To just live above a massive void that falls to the very bottom of the level. Now, there are exceptions, so you might go down and hit a lava lake, so I will stop at the lava lake if that happens. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge if we ever get to it. We might never get there. Considering how few Let's Plays I ever actually get far enough into to finish the game, it probably won't happen. Alright, so that... Okay, it's daylight out there. I'm just going to go out and have a look around to see if anything interesting has happened. Oh, an Enderman took a grass block and put it there. And there. Oh, man. Yeah, so if I'd been around, I could totally have just picked up those blocks, killed the Enderman for those blocks, and then I would have had grass. It's the only way to get a grass block without having silk touch. Just going to even that off just because I can. Right, so there are cows around, there are pigs around, but I don't have carrots yet, so that's alright, we don't need those yet anyway. And there are sheep around, so yes, we will go into... That's going to annoy me. I might replace all this with stone later anyway, but not just yet. Oh yes, wrap up. F5. I didn't know it was F5. I do now. So that is going to do it, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I know it went on a lot beyond the tutorial, but hey, if you stopped earlier, you stopped earlier. It's a shame I then didn't tell you to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, definitely hit that notification bell because it's super random when I upload videos and when I go live. You can find my Twitch channel if you look at the banner on my YouTube channel. If you're on Twitch, you can find my YouTube channel by going to the About section. Definitely leave a comment. Do you make tree farms, or do you just keep running further and further and further away from your house for trees? Do you forget about the saplings? it is very convenient. Do you live underground like me? Do you make an underground tree farm, a nice enclosed one? So the good thing about an underground tree farm is at night I can still go there and I can still harvest my trees in perfect safety, knowing that there's not going to be spiders, there's not going to be zombies, there's not going to be skeletons, there's not going to be creepers, there's not going to be witches, there's not going to be endermen. Okay, there might be endermen, but that's alright. Just look at their feet. Don't look them in the eye and you'll be fine. But yeah, so leave me a comment, let me know what you think about this video, how you do it, whether you do something similar, whether you do something different, and whether you've got any ideas, any tips for other viewers. Other than that, guys, thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.